And it's never nice to see the world best player crying, is it? Argentina lost to Brazil 2-0 in the semifinals of La Copa América Brasil 2019 in the Super Clásico Sudamericano, in El Clásico of the Atlántico. And El Clásico, that's what it was. It was an absolute all-out derby, and I love it. Initially, you would have thought that Argentina versus Brazil didn't have the names as before, you know, Ronaldo, Rivaldo, Romario. None of that was here. In the case of Argentina, you didn't have Batistuta, you didn't have Crespo, you had Lionel Messi and a surrounding cast of names which weren't at the top of their list. But still, you could say it was kind of like a mid-average El Clásico, a mid-average Sudamericano. But it turned out to be completely different because these two teams put everything they had on this field and they delivered an incredible game of football and the best game of La Copa America by far. And in today's video, welcome to the match reaction of this semi-final, and we're gonna be taking you over my reactions in the moment as well as everything that happened in the game, every single analysis, every single play. We're gonna be taking a look at them all. So if you want to see that, if you enjoy this, be sure to drop us a like, leave us a subscribe, turn on the bell notification icon, and follow us on all other social media to keep up to date. You get the deal, you know the drill, so let's get right into it. And one more thing before starting off this video, be sure to check out our friends at Golazo Jersey. The links are gonna be in the description down below. They got the newest Barcelona kit, so guess who can look the most epic, most valuable fan of them all. So first thing first, I gotta start by saying off, Brazil gave Argentina a lesson in a sense, you know, a lesson in the sense that sometimes you don't need to play the best football to win it, because in a specific moment of the game, Argentina had 7 shots and Brazil only had 3. I'm not putting it as kind of like humiliating Argentina because, whoa, what happened to my camera? But in this one, I did want Argentina to win. I wanted to see a final of Peru versus Argentina. If you don't know, I'm Peruvian, and I wanted to see this thing because either way, in that final, whoever lost or whoever won, I would be happy with it. I want to see Lionel Messi lift a trophy with Argentina. That's what I want to see, honestly. So I was voting for Argentina, but that's the thing. If you don't work towards like having this team that can do many different things, Argentina have been just sticking to one game plan throughout this Copa America, and really, honestly, just the last 2 games. But that's the only criticism I have for them in this game. That's the only single thing. The dynamism and everything, they could have been a little bit better. They didn't have many plans. They didn't have many options. They just stick with plan A. But that was it. Afterwards, Argentina gave them the ball. Argentina worked their ass off. Every single player was just running, was just tackling, was just tracking back. They were doing absolutely everything. And as a manager, if I was a manager, which maybe, who knows, I want to be someday, I'm going to just tell my players that you got to work, you got to be competitive, that's the thing, you gotta compete in a game. You gotta compete in a game. Apart from that, Brazil, the best player I believe in this match by far was Dani Alves. Dani Alves remembered me of the 2011 final between Brazil and Argentina in Peru, where Dani Alves bossed that final just from the right back position, and he did the very same thing as well. You can say Cafu, you can say any other right back, Zanetti perhaps, but in my history books, I'm gonna have Dani Alves in it. I'm gonna stick to him because he managed to change and just make a team work from a right back position. You don't see that often. And at the age this guy is right now, and I have my TV here right now, and he is freaking speaking. You can just hear his voice. Listen. And that's the thing. I don't know if you could hear it, but he just said the prize goes to the one who is the most acertado, the one who actually nails what they want to do. And that's what I think happened today. And fair game to both of them, I guess. Fair game to both of them. Argentina lost, gave them all, but Brazil were the team that were more prepared, the team that had more funcionamiento, had more process, and that's what showed, that's what prevailed. Brazil go on to beat Argentina with 2 goals from Gabriel Jesus and Roberto Firmino. So after that, those are my reactions in the moment, and I'm just seeing right now picture of Messi crying. But well, on my laptop right now, I have kind of like different notes that I pointed out for you guys to Let me know if you agree with them, if you want to discuss them in the comments down below. Basically, an analysis of the index game between minute 1 and minute 94, every single thing that happened in this game. So, well, in minute number 4, I wrote down, but Brazil started off with the ball very good. The start from Brazil was very possession-based, and that is something which I was kind of surprised with in a sense, because they were actually taking advantage of those wide areas, which is something Brazil haven't done as much during this Copa America. Brazil have been much more central in it, and they started doing that. The midfield of Argentina, therefore, to kind of like work towards that, Brazil playing through the for the wide areas, had a midfield 3 of, well, you know, Rodrigo de Paul, Acuña, and Paredes that was very stretched out. As soon as Tite, I think, identified that, he started moving a little bit of Everton and Gabriel Jesus closer into kind of that tight midfield, because they could exploit those gaps in the spaces that the midfield of Argentina left out. So that was a very good point for Brazil in the moment. And in minute 13, we saw, I don't know, this guy, Leonardo Paredes. I didn't know he had those long shots in him, but he saw a long shot. Alisson jumped, he didn't even reach it. It was close, very close, and it could have been the very first time, the very first goal, but Paredes missed it, unfortunately. Juan Foyth, then, until now, you could see Everton having a difficult time, honestly, to a makeshift right back, and he did very good, Juan Foyth. He did have some kind of youngsters' mistakes. It will tend to happen no matter what, and that's what occurred for this chance. Juan Foyth, until then, was good, like I said, was solid, but one miss, and it was one-on-one with Gabriel Jesus, and Gabriel Jesus scuffed it, and that was what happened. But just some few minutes after that, in minute 19, came the very first goal from Gabriel Jesus as well. This play started off very, very nicely. First of all, with a nutmeg of Coutinho to Paredes. Then Dani Alves doing a quick recovery and doing a sombrero, you know, when you flick the ball over your opposition. Just cutting inside once again. Dani Alves looking like he was 20 years old. Then he does a no-look pass into Roberto Firmino, who was coming inside, or actually overlapping, and then Firmino just puts a low cross into Gabriel Jesus, and Gabriel Jesus with a number 9 finish and scores the first goal. That was a very sweet goal. That was a team goal, and I don't know about you guys, but team goals are really high up there. People like individual goals, stuff like that, but sometimes you gotta value as entirety of a team. And here, honestly, Gabriel Jesus managed to score the goal, but it was at least 80% of Dani Alves. Dani Alves made that goal, and he could have honestly finished it. It was insane skills from a 36-year-old right back. After that, I gotta say, I was really surprised the approach, the defensive kind of style that Brazil actually settled in. Brazil decided to go with 2 lines of 4 and put Coutinho for the left and have someone like, Coutinho was kind of like still in the midfield. Arthur, I don't know, it was just kind of like a lines of 4, okay? They were very, very defensive. And what it meant for Brazil was that there was no pressure towards the center backs of Argentina. Normally, you want your strikers to be pressuring those defenders so that they commit mistakes and then lead to eventual errors and have a goal, have a one-on-one with the keeper. That's what you want. But Brazil almost had the entire 10 outfield players on their own side, on their own area of the field, on their own, and Argentina just were allowed to do those passes, but horizontal passes. Whenever Argentina wanted to move towards the midfield and cut and find spaces in that tight space, in that tight midfield that Brazil created for them, the 2 strikers could then pressure in and commit mistakes, but in an area of the field where Brazil could easily find other people to just get more and higher counterattacks. That was a very interesting from Tite. That's an approach Brazil I wouldn't have normally seen before. Brazil is normally all about the flashy football. Brazil have this kind of pedigree that they do the flicks, the skills. But in this game, we didn't see too much of that. We see a Brazil that was very, very intelligent, and a manager like Tite, which is adding different kind of spices to what overall Brazil means, and they're looking much more competitive. Around 30 minutes in is when we see Leo Messi actually waking up. And here the game takes a drastic improvement. It goes from like 50 to 100 in about, 2 minutes? Honestly, Messi turned up in this one, does an amazing dribble through the midfield, finds Agüero through a cross, and then Agüero cling on the post. And not even Alisson had a chance to get to it. And then after that, Argentina start growing in confidence, and they look much more deadly. They really, really did. After that, Brazil left the defensive shape because Argentina had to take most risk. You know, the time is running out, you want to score a goal, you need to take more risk. And the ball here for me was instrumental. The ball had many dribbles from, I would say, 1/4 of the field up to the entirety half of Brazil. He was really doing an incredible job, the ball, and many other players were soon to follow. Here Argentina then had another chance, Lautaro Martinez from outside the box, then it came the rebound to Lionel Messi in the volley. It managed to be to, actually I don't know if it was a save or it was a save from the post, you know, it hit on the post, and then Agüero, the ball just drives through, you know, when it goes and crosses the line and nobody touches it, Agüero missed it by this much, and it didn't went in. That was for me the chance where Argentina, you could just tell, damn, this is gonna be a difficult game. This is gonna be a difficult game and we don't have luck on our side. Few minutes after that, Scaloni introduced Di Maria for Acuña, which of course I understand because Acuña was on a yellow card, so you don't want him to get a red card, and plus Acuña is one of the most aggressive players per se of the Argentina side. But what I didn't understand was that Di Maria was constantly being pushed to the left hand side of that kind of free man midfield. Di Maria is certainly gonna be a much better player when he has the right to his side. And that's something that I didn't understand, because Di Maria being left-footed, having that natural profile, he's gonna be sticking to the wide areas, and you need somebody to actually dribble more like the Paul was doing. And even the Paul, his better position is when he has the right foot to the inside of the midfield. So just shifting the players, having Di Maria play on the right and then having the Paul play on the left, it would have been much better. It would make much more sense. And that didn't happen. I didn't understand that from Scaloni. Those are little kind of tactical adjustments that a very young manager on the spot won't get. Let's remember that Scaloni is still starting his career as a manager, so that is going to come with experience, and I think that could have been better for Argentina to get more chances in when they were dominating the game. And well, the last final thing I want to mention is, of course, the second goal from Brazil, and this was just encompassing everything what it means to be a competitive team, and I think Brazil did it very, very good. It came from a save from Alisson, if I'm not wrong. Then they found Gabriel Jesus, and Gabriel Jesus does an amazing run from Roberto Firmino, and Roberto Firmino scores once again a number 9 finish. And that's the thing, Brazil were so different in this game, because normally they're the flash football and everything, but they look much more solid, much more competent in what they did. They knew how to play against Argentina. They knew Argentina had to come out, and ultimately Brazil won it by the head, won it by the heart, and won it by basically the football. I believe honestly that Argentina will continue with this process, and I actually encourage them with. I don't know if Scaloni is going to be handed the job. I don't know the consequences it's going to take. We got to analyze that further on in the future, but for now I will let actually Argentina keep them. I think keeping Scaloni and keeping Argentina, it's good. It's good because both of them are learning. Both are new, young prospects and projects that they could learn from one another. I think this Argentina side is actually good because it started really bad and they show character, they show attitude, and that's what you need to have. Sometimes you can lose. Yes, you can lose, but the way that you lose is very important. Argentina today lost with a chest up. They lost competing, and that's the thing. That's very different, for instance, from Barcelona losing to Liverpool 4-0. Barcelona didn't compete in this game, in that game. Argentina did in this one. And Argentina are going to have another Copa America, another World Cup, where they can certainly prove that they're at the level. They're going to have another chance. And I know Messi is going to have at least 2 more. So let's hope, wait and see if Argentina can finally lift some trophy with Messi as captain. Hopefully guys you have enjoyed this video. Be sure to drop us a like and leave us a subscribe if you did. And yeah, it was an amazing game of football, and I want to hear all of it about your opinions in the comment box down below. That's gonna be it for today. See you in the next one. Take care. Ciao.